And we're live. Happy Wednesday, gang. I will wait just a moment to switch till you pop on. Give me the notification in just a second. I hope you're doing fantastic today for another Wednesday. There's the notification that I'm on. Another Wednesday live. I hope you're being productive today and meeting your goals for the week. And I'll be waiting just a second to see if you pop on. Let me grab my shake. I always do my protein shake during the day. That's kind of my lunch. I'm doing some intermittent fasting stuff as well. So I'm just so excited to always connect with you guys and help you build your businesses online, your Etsy shops, or any other online business, because that's what I am driven to do and what I've been doing in the past 20 years. So I always like to start with a quote. And today's quote is, "The most important thing to remember is you must know your audience." And that is from Lewis Howes, entrepreneur. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about your audience. So I want to tell you a little story, and some of you may already know this, but as a fashion designer for 20 years, I've had multiple locations across multiple areas in South Florida. I had a store in California, and it's pretty interesting when you kind of understand your clientele over time. So I had a store in right near the beach in Delray Beach, Florida. A really cool area. It is just it's become a hub internationally. Actually, a lot of international vacationers go there now. And I had that shop for many years. And that shop, was doing very well. And my clothes are, very unique and very they're handmade and different and one of a kind and kind of funky. And my clients love them. They would come from all over the world. And I could say that was my clientele. People traveling that wanted unique handmade clothing that they could not find anywhere else. So I opened another location just down the street, maybe about a 15-minute drive. And I not kid you, it's on the exact same street. And I opened that store at the same time as my lease was I think I had another 2 years left in the other store. And I picked this area to expand because they were building multi-million-dollar homes, and people were driving Teslas and, high-end cars. And it was just that type of crowd right near Boca Raton. So, I'm like, okay, great. These people got money. They're going to want my stuff. And this is why it's so important to know your customer. So as it turns out, and I've been there for 6 years, my lease is up soon, but as it turns out, that clientele, even though it's just a few, 15 minutes down the road, was nothing like my clientele east. And go figure, it's almost in the same area. They've got a lot of money. So you're thinking it's a no-brainer, right? So what actually started to happen was I noticed that there was actually an older clientele that wanted a cheaper product. They wanted like the Chico's brand and the product that I didn't have, because my items are more expensive, they're handmade, they're a little funkier. So lo and behold, I didn't do enough market research when I opened that second location. And so I either have two choices. I mean, I'm not renewing my lease, obviously, but I could have completely revamped my style to fit that customer's needs. Or I could have just kept doing what I was doing and really market my clientele to bring them over to where I was at. So that's what I want to talk about today, is knowing thy audience, knowing thy customer, because you can think that you know your customer and you're way off. So how does this apply to you and your Etsy shop or your business? A lot of people skip this part. A lot of new entrepreneurs especially, are so eager to get their products out they skip the research behind figuring out if their product is something that people are willing to buy and who their ideal client is. So it really is part of your foundational structure that you need to be researching and building as you're going. And this doesn't mean that you can't be doing and actually putting up products, because you'll get more clarity as we go. And that's why I always tell everybody, just take that messy action. You'll get your clarity. You'll find your customers as you go. But you want to have kind of an idea of what that ideal client is. And they call it in marketing the ideal customer avatar, or your ideal client. And usually you go through a whole exercise of everything from what that customer, not only are they male or female, but how old are they? How much income do they earn? Do they have children? Where do they shop? What are their hobbies? What do they like to eat? Where do they hang out online? Are they more on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? These are really detailed questions that will help you find your ideal client. And when you're speaking to just one person, that one person turns into thousands of other people just like that one person. And when you can sell to just that one person that loves your product, you can sell to the masses in your little niche. Now remember, a niche or niche is not the same as your ideal client. Sometimes we think, oh, well, I'm going to sell prints that are inspirational. That's like a specific niche, but that your ideal customer might be a business owner, might be someone that has, maybe they're going through like a hard time in their life, depression, and they need quotes to be motivated. So you can't always, like, you know, when you have a shop, it's so important to try to find your ideal customers. It's going to be so much easier to sell to them when you're doing that. Because if you're not, you're going to be just randomly trying to get anyone to purchase your items. But if someone can see your shop and say, oh my gosh, that is speaking right to me, you're going to be using it in your messaging, in your item description, in everything that you do in your marketing to help that customer be attracted to you, almost like a magnet. And that's where the secret sauce is. Not trying to be everything to everybody, but trying to find those ideal clients like a magnet. And that comes with doing your customer avatar and, you know, finding out what that customer is looking for. So there's so many, you know, there are a lot of shops that are like general stores, and that is fine too. But a lot of times there's usually a common theme. Usually, and this is not every single shop. Everyone is different. Each shop has its own, you know, history and its own background of how it came about. But usually there's some kind of common theme that is drawing a particular customer to that shop, whether it's humor, whether it's a common interest. Like, let's say you sell natural skincare products. Your customer is probably not going to be a 20-year-old boy. It's probably going to be somewhere anywhere from their, you know, maybe a 28 to 35, 40-year-old woman that is into health and fitness, that shops at Whole Foods. Again, you know, there can be many different ideal customers, but you want to try to find that ideal customer avatar. It's just going to help you so much to get more clarity in who you're trying to reach. Because remember, a confused customer that doesn't know what you're selling is a customer that will not buy. So here are some, well, first of all, I want to talk about why is this so important? Well, a lot of times there's so much around your products, and you know, you might be trying to sell to a particular type of person, but then you find out that your actual customers that are buying from you are not that person at all. For example, let's say you have in your mind, I'm going to sell like this, let's say you're selling a printable product and you want to go for new moms, and all of a sudden you find out almost all of your clients are for the grandmothers or the people purchasing for this new baby. So your marketing needs to now turn towards the person purchasing the item, not the person that you thought Like in my case, in my store, I'm like, oh, great, lots of money, just down the street, duplicate my sales. Didn't happen. I didn't do my market research, and that's why my sales dropped. So same with your stores. Try to find out, I'm going to give you 4 different things to do to try to find out who exactly, what is going on in your shop and how to find your ideal client. So the first thing is you want to look at your current clients. Look and see who is currently buying from you. Go into your sales and try to see if they have an avatar, or if you can click on their profile. What have they liked? What have they purchased or looked at in the past? And try to see exactly if you can get a common thread. Sometimes you will find out that there is kind of a common thread. You're getting a range of, females between the ages of 30 and 35 are the most common purchasing your products. Now, of course, you're going to get a variety of people. I'm not saying that every single person is going to be purchasing your product, is going to be that clientele, but the messaging will start to attract those people, and it'll be easier for you to make those sales. So when you can start really identifying who is purchasing your product, you're going to start using the correct messaging. Let's go back to the example of the grandmother. So let's say that you are, you're selling this item, this baby item, and none of the moms are buying it. So the grandparents, you would start to use in your messaging and your tags, gift for baby from grandma, or can start personalizing from the grandparents, gift for baby shower, gift from family, whatever that messaging is, because that's probably what they're going to be typing in the Etsy search bar. They're probably going to be typing in gifts for grandchild, or gifts from grandma, gifts for grandchild, and gift from aunt. These are the kind of people that are actually purchasing those products, not the mom. Again, this is going to take time and research, but as you go in your shop and you're moving along, these little clues will start to, if you notice them, will start to pop out at you. And that's how you can really start to really target and refine your message. And those are really the keys to success. When you're kind of all over the place, you don't know your clientele, you're doing so many different things. Even if you have a niche or niche, it still can be kind of overwhelming to the customer if they're not short in the messaging. The messaging is so important, and that's where your keywords and your SEO comes in, which is super, super important. Okay, so we also want to talk about what are those pain points, or if it's not a pain point, what are those desires of that person that is buying. So let's say, for example, you are selling your hand making, let's go back to the, makeup, and you have some false eyelashes. Your pain point for your customer is stubby eyelashes, and they don't want to use mascara. So let's say you are selling those, natural false eyelashes. That is a pain point. So you can start using that in your messaging, in your description. Are your lashes really short and you want to use natural products? Well, I've got your answer. These false eyelashes that I handcraft are the perfect answer. That is your messaging, and all of a sudden the client's like, wow, yes, I've got false, I want natural eyelashes, and I want a natural product, and I've got short eyelashes. I'm going to be purchasing that product. But if you use your messaging and it's just really muddled and vague, and you just put, you're not really speaking to those pain points, they might just look you over and just find someone else. So the pain points are really important. Let's say if you need a gift and you need to be really special, you're looking for a special gift for your fiance and you're stressing over it. That's like a pain point. You want the perfect gift for your fiance. You can use that in your messaging. For example, looking for the perfect gift for your fiance, something that's funny, something that will make them laugh and make them feel good. Well, this mug is the perfect gift for, dog lovers. And that is, even though it's for dog lovers, you're targeting the fee, you know, for a gift for your fiance. If you guys are with me, I hope so. So remember who you're talking to, because if someone wants to buy a gift for a person or a fiance or your grandchild, whatever, they're going to be looking for specific products to fulfill their wants and desires. Okay, people come online to buy for two different reasons: wants or needs. Sometimes it's both, but sometimes you just want a new dress, or you need to get a new dress for an event. You just don't want it, you need it. So that's like would be a pain point, like I need to get that and I'm stressed over it. Who can provide the answer for me? Okay, so the last thing, and I have my notes here, is that all of those products, especially in the beginning of your business, should be catering around a specific ideal clientele, because it will be so much easier to run a whole Facebook group, to run your business when you know your client. And one of the big mistakes that is happening is that everybody is afraid to miss out, so they actually end up being nothing to nobody. You probably have heard that before. Be more niche, find your ideal clientele, and then as you go, you're going to keep refining and refining your clientele. But if you're not really speaking to anybody, you're not speaking to any. If no one is attracted to your product, you're not going to speak to anybody. That's what I'm saying. Like in your messaging, and there's just so many different types of products. Like let's take for example my product in my beaded tassel company. So my product is a jewelry making supply, but my customer is not a customer that wants resin jewelry supplies. The person that wants dainty jewelry supplies. My customer is looking for a more bohemian looking supply. I know my customer, and that's why one of the reasons why I'm doing so well. I don't really sell to the person that wants resin goods, or maybe they want my things are like kind of bohemian style, kind of like sometimes I have a lot of different like, I don't want to say more flashy, but we've got rhinestone beads and things like that. But maybe a minimalistic person that just wants simple pearls wouldn't be attracted to my shop. This is my point. So try to find out some tactical things you can do is really look at your customers. Who's buying? What are they buying? And how can you talk directly to them in your messaging? And what products can you give them and serve them that they will buy them up like crazy? Because you're speaking directly to them. Okay, so I hope this cleared up a little bit. If you can do the exercise this week of finding your ideal customer avatar, this will help you so much. This is very big in marketing. 101 is finding that ideal dream client, and then you keep on giving products for that client. Okay, so it's really simple. You go through and you can even picture what they look like, how old they are, what they do for a living, if they have a family or not, where they live, what they like, what movies they like. You can go down the whole list. Even if you don't have clients before, you can actually think about this product and make them up in your head. Kind of like be like, okay, I'm going to call this person, Gina. And Gina is a mom she's got 2 kids. She's stay at home. She likes to surf the internet. She likes this type of movie. She likes this type of food. She goes to the gym. You can actually write that type of person, because believe it or not, they are out there. And that person comes from, researching and trying to find that perfect ideal customer. Don't stress over this. This is just a starting point and also something for you to learn over time. This is not like you have to do this right now in order to get started. I always talk about just taking messy action, but just another tidbit of knowledge so you can understand maybe your products really aren't working because maybe you're targeting the wrong audience. So that's it. It is already 20 minutes. I am going to hang up, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day and go get them.